Hello, welcome back. We got coffee. So, today, how are you making the world a better place? Are you making the world a better place? Our world is very scary. It is full of a lot of evil, it is full of a lot of people with bad intentions. And how am I and you and us, and how are we making the world a better place? What are we doing with our own little selves to make things better and to love our neighbors? So, immediately what came to mind for me is I am raising up part of, oh, my dogs are going to make noise. I'm going to move. Dogs just have to bark. They can't help it. That's just what they do, I guess. So, I am a mother, as you know, and I am raising up part of the next generation. And my responsibility and my husband's responsibility as a parent is to raise up decent human beings. So I am trying to raise up responsible, hardworking, loving, respectful, God-fearing children. And of course, I wanted to do it in a way that was not do as I say, not as I do, but show them what it's like to be that person, and guide them through. Obviously, when they were younger, there was a lot more than just guidance. It was, hardcore parenting, where you tell them, you're not going to do this, you're going to do it this way, and we do this because of that. But then as they get older, you end up being more of like a guide, a mentor, and it's better to show them in the way that you behave how to be as a person than it is to just tell them and give them this list of rules. And even though, even though mom doesn't follow it, you need to do that as well and admit your mistakes and tell them where, you messed up and that sort of thing. So I am trying to raise my 3 children into good, decent human beings that love other people and do what they're supposed to do, and that are going to take care of their own families and themselves and love their neighbors. So that is my little piece there of raising the next generation and making the world a better place. And the other part is, it's really still tied up into what this YouTube channel is all about. I am not here to make everyone feel sorry for me, to like whine and complain about what it is to be an INFJ and how hard it is and how no one understands me and blah, 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 all those things. And now, while those things may be significant and there are some hardships that I go through, that we go through, that people go through, and I need to share those things here. I want to be an encouragement that despite what we have been given as our, deck of cards to play with for life, we can be an influence on society. We can be helpful. I believe we were created to be that, a quiet voice of change. And we are, we wouldn't be able to see and sense all the horribleness, all the sadness, and all the difficulties in the world if we were supposed to be quiet about it. And I have discussed that before. And so here I am, very non-INFJ like, laying out all of my things, not for attention and validation, but in order to encourage other people, not just INFJs, but other people that would struggle with anxiety, struggle with depression and difficulties. Encourage them to go out, love people, speak the truth, be strong. And I feel like I've been called to do that for now. And I think That's my part for now in this little part of the world. So if 200 people watch a video and maybe 50 of them get something out of it and they feel whatever, they feel some kind of way, then those 50 people can go out and love someone else and reach someone else. I am, through God's help, because He is of my own, my nose is running, of my own strength. I don't think that I could do this. I don't think it would be sustainable. I think I probably would have done a couple videos and then run away, So with God's help, I am able to come back here week after week, despite my, arguing with myself and my brain, or arguing with the enemy, as many of you have pointed out. But with the help of God and the help of the Holy Spirit, I'm able to just keep coming back here and talking about this stuff, even though sometimes I feel like what I'm talking about may be irrelevant. It ends up not being irrelevant. And people are able to say, I suffer the same, or I learned this thing from it. So what's my point here? I don't know. I don't know what my point is. I feel like I never know what my point is, but I am attempting to live out my purpose and make the world a better place by identifying the difficulties that I have, sharing them with other people, rather than just continuing to stuff them down as I have for probably the first 30 plus years of my life, in order to show people, specifically other INFJs, that you are not alone. You are not the only one. If you look, even just looking, watching this video and watching me, day after day, I do share my struggles, but it always looks like looking into someone else's life, that they've got everything figured out and everything's all together and, whatever. But sharing what's going on inside in the best way that I can, because sometimes I feel like, I'm just dumping stuff out that doesn't even have a point or a pattern. And having other people identify and say, my gosh, I struggle the same way, it can be so helpful. So I'm going to continue. I guess that's my point here, because how am I making the world a better place? I'm trying to raise up my little section of the next generation to be good human beings, to be good, loving, love them. I love them so much, and I want them to, I want to give them a good example of what it is to be a good, God-fearing woman, a good, And I want to keep sharing what is going on and what I see, and I don't want to be afraid anymore. Afraid of sharing my heart. And I saw something on Facebook about, be loud about what you believe in. And in our culture, the loudest one, or the squeaky wheel gets the grease, I guess is what they say. But the loudest one is always the one that seems to get their way, that seems to get all the attention, that seems to, not that I want all the attention, but, they're preferred. The loud, extroverted, over the top, they're preferred. But my response to that thing that was posted is, I'm not loud. I'm a quiet voice, but I'm persistent. And we can, in our way, we can get across what needs to get across. Sometimes we have to be forceful, but sometimes that quiet confidence that we have, and that ability to say the things that we need to say in truth, that that sometimes can be hurtful, but hurtful in a way that, like a surgery hurts, but it heals at the same time, if that makes any sense. So this is just a bit rambly today, once again. I'm hoping that you could string that together and make some sense out of that. But anyway, your question for today is, how are you making the world a better place? I'm not sure that I answered it in a way that was understandable, but that was my answer, and I look forward to yours. Live and love out of the way you were created.